Here with Link Tank. This is a great Tuesday morning here in Denver, Colorado. Hope everybody's doing well. Want to try and make this 20 minutes as great as possible. So really want to focus on coming away with a couple takeaways from today relative to LinkedIn and the insights that one can derive by really being infused in it. You know, I've been here about 2 years, every day, posting, every day, learning, and now taking this opportunity, especially with LinkedIn Live, to share some of these insights. So maybe it could shorten your learning curve, maybe improve your progress, and definitely enhance your collaboration. You know, today I really want to focus on outreach. You know, there is so much time and effort spent really doing what other people ask you to do. You know, when you first, go to LinkedIn every morning, typically you look at your messages, your notifications, your connection requests, your comments. And when you add it all up, all you've done so far is what everybody asks you to do with them or for them. You know, the key is to have a plan going in for what you want to do for yourself and the people you want to touch the most. And by having an outreach plan or just having a plan, you know, there's a saying that says, fail to plan, plan to fail. Well, I always go in every day with a shopping list of what I need to do. And typically it's about outreach. And I like to send 5 invitations a day out to people I feel are very aligned with what I'm doing and could support what I'm doing. And in turn, I could bring some complementary benefit to them. With that said, by targeting profiles, and I use Sales Navigator to really slice and dice, the key is to tailor it to people who share same experiences, are doing things. One of the key characteristics, now that we're talking about putting together a special list, is really deciding what characteristics of an ideal client or partner you'd be looking for. And with that said, you know, I typically look at profile naturally, and the first thing I look is activity. You know, if someone's not doing anything, why would they want to do something with you? So I like to work with the people who are working, and also really focus on, shared interest. So with that said, I put together a list. I send out at least 5, sometimes 10 a day, and which lends itself to, conversations and in turn, possible collaborations. You know, what I find is there's so many people on LinkedIn who do a lot of planting, a lot of cultivating, but never go to harvest. And they go back to cultivating. And cultivating is just building more connections. Connections that don't turn into conversations are just more work and dilution of your time and efforts. So the key is work with what you have where you're at. When I hit 25,000 connections and now I'm at about 38,000, I remember getting an email from someone who said, I can't wait till I get 25,000. I only have 5,000. And I responded to him and said, well, if you're not working with the 5,000 you have, what are you going to do with the extra 20,000? So, I think that's really key, is to take inventory, really prioritize where the value and the value you have created, and see what you can do to identify it. And by identifying, it's really ask questions. Would you like to have a call? Well, if someone doesn't want to have a call, they just showed where their limitation is, and you can move on. You know, in essence, LinkedIn is a sorting game. And there's another saying that says, some will, some won't, so what? And the key is finding people at the right time, in the right position, who could take advantage of what you're doing, and in turn, be able to collaborate with you. Because I think that's the greatest strength that one can achieve, is building a collaborative group that basically supports each other. LinkedIn rewards activity. And when it's planned activity and it's valued activity, LinkedIn sees that and they continue to expand your audience and amplify your message. So, I think those are keys that, when you enter LinkedIn, they don't give you a guidebook. You're pretty much on your own, and typically you bring in whatever you have from where you've been. And a lot of people don't make the transition from the physical world to the virtual world because they come in with an ask, a take, a buy attitude. And it's just the opposite. It's about building trust by showing, interest. There's a saying, be interested, not interesting. And it's the other thing about consistency. I think that's one of the keys to, really understanding that you have to be there when people want you. It's like having a restaurant where the sign says, we're open when we're open versus 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. So, make it easy on everyone, be available for everyone, because you never know what you don't know. And I think the other thing is be the example of what you're looking for. Not only in what you say, but how you say it and how you do it. Plus, more information is powerful. I just learned this week, if you want to Google LinkedIn statistics, I was amazed at some of the numbers. One number, only 2.7% of the people on LinkedIn are over 55, and 60% are between 25 and 34. So how are you talking to LinkedIn if you don't know who you're talking to and how they like to be talked with or to? So those are key things. So I think the real big takeaway today is really understanding what you have, how you can take better advantage of it, and how you can put together a plan that not only you can believe in, but get excited to execute. What I am doing, and it's based on what I see as the opportunity, is only about 17% of people are active on LinkedIn in a week. And active just means done something. That means 83% of the people aren't. And I had to ask myself, why is that? And the only answer I could come up with was either people don't know how to do LinkedIn or aren't motivated to do LinkedIn and know how based on their limited success in the past and expectation for a return on their time investment. So what I did is decide, hey, let's just bridge the gap between the lack of knowledge and the abundance of knowledge, and have a bridge that someone could travel to accelerate the learning curve, which was one of the main points when we started this conversation. And the other element is one that really knowledge share. If 4, 5, 6, 20, 30, whatever number of people can share every week experiences and help each other through each other, I mean, that's all for the better. So I came up with a mastermind group that meets on Wednesdays, and it's only $97 a month, an hour a week of me and some of the best people on LinkedIn. I created another plan, which is a strategic review and profile review that can really put things in proper perspective. A third new plan is consulting and speaking. And the fourth one is a game plan that's a monthly subscription. So if you're interested, you can go to doncohenconsulting.com and check it out. I'm also working very closely with Mike Weiss, and he's got a tremendous program in clout selling. And I would advocate taking a look at that. And it's really for a little bit more done for you work. In addition, we're looking to build Link Tank up and are looking for early adopters who want to join. And we're going to come up with our program probably in the next week or so that'll detail all the benefits that one can derive and really, share the vision of what we're trying to do. There is so much opportunity, but it requires knowledge, and knowledge requires activity. And, I always believed having workout buddies would get you to gym more often and also help everybody else get to the gym more often. So a lot of what me and Mike have learned and what we're teaching is really just good common sense. But I think the twist that we bring also is that we've got a tremendous amount of business experience. Mike's very accomplished in the financial sector. I did just unbelievable in distribution, both retail, wholesale, and ultimately was one of the pioneers for e-commerce and built a $250 million business just working on marketplaces like Amazon, Walmart, etc. Taking this to LinkedIn, it's really about now working with people instead of products, which are much harder to commoditize and much has the ability to be influenced in such a positive way, in a short-term way that could get long-term benefit. So anyways, I'm looking forward to more LinkedIn conversations. I'm very excited by the questions that have been coming in, and really the interest that's been developed. It's so funny that I'm hearing from people I kind of forgot, to be honest with you, and they happened to see a link tank, and all of a sudden there was an interest in what I was saying and doing. And here's another key takeaway. As I mentioned, so few people are active on LinkedIn. As you could move up in the ranks from doing just a post with a text message to a video, that has so much more impact and value. When you can then move from a video to promoting and producing LinkedIn Live, now you've got a set place and time, if you choose, and I choose, consistent, and you want something to continue. They say in life there are no outcomes, there's only continuums. And the beauty of what I've seen with LinkedIn so far is in 4 weeks, not only has the interest grown, but the definition of what one wants to achieve is starting to get far more defined. And, I'm really looking forward to seeing people come together in a more coordinated way, because, one thing on LinkedIn today, you meet by accident. How much better would it have been if you met by plan for purpose? And here's one other twist. What if it became a lot of fun based on the level of success you're starting to achieve with the same or less time investment, and really having some insights into the context of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and not just throwing the ball out and hoping, you can catch it when it comes down. So, I'm pretty focused on, action, sense of urgency. I think with the changes taking place in the world, for someone to sit still and wait for something to happen has got a long wait. And while you're waiting, why not make something happen? So, LinkedIn has 810 million people. There's somebody for everybody. And I think that's one more really key element, is focusing on a niche. There's a saying, niches are riches. If you can better define your objective, why are you there, is the bigger question. So it's almost like going on stage and someone gives you a microphone that you can broadcast to this huge audience. What is it you have to say that you think is worth saying, creates value in hearing, and motivates people to want to get to know you and trust you and like you more? If you can figure that out, put it on a post and send it. It could be a couple lines. It doesn't matter. All it matters is you get started. There's another saying, and I'm full of sayings. Always start before you're ready, and you'll figure out how to catch up. Another thing that complements that is, if your why is big enough, you'll figure out the how-to. So anyways, I think part of success on LinkedIn is knowledge, application of knowledge, motivation, attitude, and success is an attitude. People always hear your music before they hear your words. So, look at how you present yourself. One of the key takeaways from last week that we got great response on was be the best commenter of the day for the people you appreciate most. If you look at most comments, they're, great post, blah, blah, blah. If you really show by writing something that you read it, watched it, enjoyed it, you're going to be at the top of the top that day for the other 8 or 9 that just mailed it in. If you do that 3-4 days in a row, it's much easier than to ask for a conversation, because now you're moving into it as a peer who's supporting someone versus a stranger who's just reaching up for a favor. So, with LinkedIn, it's a long game. It allows you to take your time. And if you're impulsive and can't wait on people, start generating more outgoing to new people. And activity breeds success. So anyways, it looks like we're almost up on our 20 minutes. Again, I invite everybody to share their feedback, reach out to me or Mike on our profiles on LinkedIn. We're glad to address anything and everybody, and we're learning all the time. And that's the beauty of this collaborative program, is whatever works best goes next. That's kind of a motto that we've adopted. So, look forward to continually have these conversations. Hopefully, as soon as you get off, you can apply some of this, maybe start working on a plan, even if it's simple. Anything on paper is, with ink is powerful. And, share with us, because, we don't want to be living with tunnel vision or with blinders on. So if you got some great comments, if you've done something that worked really well, share it and we'll bring it on the show. Remember, Tuesdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.